Welcome to Extraterrestrial Reality. Well, Drone Gate continues, but you know what? There's a lot of other things people are seeing in the skies all over the place, all over the world right now. And a lot of those things are orbs or circular shaped objects, and there's no explanation for them. And that's what I want to talk about today. Now, of course, as everyone knows, the drone mystery continues. A lot of people are still seeing these objects. A lot of the debunkers are having a field day right now, like Mick West. He's on Twitter. He's showing people how to use certain tools that they could use to track aircraft, because there are misidentifications out there, but see, that's the thing with you can't trust debunkers. Like, you cannot trust Mick West. As everyone remembers, he turned down the $5,000 offer from Scott Roeder to do an analysis of the Las Vegas alien video. So how could you trust this guy? He knows that there's nothing he can do about that. He can't debunk it. He always takes the easy stuff, and that's what he's doing right now. I mean, it's simple. There's so many different people out there who have their eyeballs on the sky. There's going to be misidentifications. And so what he does, he shows up on CNN. He talks about what's happening on there, gives his analysis on there of what's going on, that people are just having misidentification or misidentifying things. That's what he's doing. And then he'll show you, okay, here you could use this aircraft tracker, and it'll show you, okay, this is where these are planes that you're seeing, and he's able to prove in some of these cases that they're just are aircraft. That's all it is, and they're just being misidentified. But that's not the case, as everyone knows. In fact, a lot of these drones are still being seen all over the place. And Matt Ford from the Good Trouble Show, he recently was speaking with someone, a law enforcement official from the Midwest, who told the Good Trouble Show that these drones they see drones as large or larger than cars. They think that they are non-human intelligent operated. It began accelerating about 3 weeks ago, these sightings, and they feel that the White House is lying. It's not just New Jersey now, it's happening everywhere. And that's from one of the guests on Matt Ford's The Good Trouble Show. And so you can't believe what the debunkers are telling you, because they're going to do the easy pickings kind of thing, and they're going to say, okay, yeah, see, there was aircraft in this area. That was just a misidentification. Well, what about all the rest? And then what about all of the incursions over military installations, over reservoirs, over it's sensitive airspace? It continues. It just continues, and it's not stopped. And so despite what the debunkers might tell you, it's not solved. It is not solved. But, we talked recently about how it could be what's happened here is that the government has been sending up some secret drones for some purpose, maybe as a way to confuse people because of all of the sudden sightings of orbs. And that's what I want to talk about here today. There was actually a Reddit user, effective ad 604060, who has put a very good post on Reddit, I have to say, and he has a listings of different sightings of orbs, legitimate orb sightings, he says, and you could click on each one of these and you'll see some very strange things. Here's what he writes on Reddit. He says, due to an overwhelming amount of shares, I've decided to keep updating this post daily from this point forward with anything I deem credible. I would encourage everyone to post credible sites they see in the comments here, and we can focus our attention on proving or debunking them. And he goes on to say, for the past few weeks, I have been filtering out all the plane, helicopter, or unexplainable videos, pictures. As such, I was left with these. If anyone has any information on these videos below, please comment and we can discuss. The sub is filled with disinformation right now, and what we need are eyes cooperating on what is legitimate and what is not. These are the videos we should be researching. These are the videos we should be focused on, not blatantly obvious plane helicopter videos. Yeah, I saw quite a few of those blatant helicopter and plane videos, which was like, what are you talking about, I mean, those are the kinds of easy pickings that the debunkers could look at and say, look, it's a plane, and here we have this tracker, this online, we could figure out exactly where that plane was at what time, and that's what's happening right now. And of course, the government continues to lie. The federal government, that is, they're continuing to lie about this. They're not telling us the truth about what's going on with these drones. But anyway, continuing here, he also posts, disinformation campaigns are rife right now. Why are these videos not being shown in the news? I think we can all guess why. And this is really good. like he has different videos that are posted on Reddit of orbs. And for instance, here it says plane approaches orb and orb speeds off. You click on the link, right, and then you're going to get a video of a plane. You'll see this right here. I'll make it bigger. Yeah, you can see that orb taking off then. I'm going to rewind that. Check it out. You'll see a plane coming into view. You see a orb just hovering there. And then there it goes. What is that? Where's it going? What was it doing there? What's happening? These are just some of the videos you're going to see on Reddit right now. And then I go back. I'm going to go back now, and then yeah, you could check. I'll leave the link here so you could check this out for yourself. This was a really interesting one here. It says, woman standing on her balcony captures orb within meters of her flying between two buildings. And this was a strange one. Okay, there's this orb here flying, and this was, I guess, taken off of TikTok. And then it goes in between these two buildings. Like, what is that? And then it disappears. So there's a lot of orb sightings right now, and these are just some of them. And here's another one: woman live streams orb with erratic movements. Live stream was strangely stopped. Let's check this one out. Yep, you can see an object here in the back just floating. A lot of these things. Yep, a drone flies next to an orb, and then the orb speeds off. This is what I was talking about. Like, I was talking about something like this. This is the reason for the drones. I mean, that's a possibility here, is that what's happening is all of a sudden orbs start showing up all over the place, and then to confuse the situation or to, come up with a different alternative explanation, the government sends up drones either as a deterrent or actually to confuse people. So people say, hey, look at, there's no orbs. It's just drones. See, look at that. Now that orb is now taking off straight up. Yep. Look at that. It went way up, and now it's moving away quickly. Like a drone approached it, and then it's flying around. The orb speeds off, just like the headline reads. Now, again, we don't know if this... I think these videos are legitimate. We can't say what they are one way or the other, but the fact of the matter is that there are a lot of orb sightings right now. That's what a lot of people are seeing. Okay, let's go back. We'll look at another one here. It says here, U.S. Capitol orb, plane and orb can be seen. Orb is stationary. Okay, here's another video. Let's see what this one shows. And this was over the Capitol. Yeah, look at that. Different objects just hovering over over the nation's capital right there for who knows what reason. We don't know. Right next to the Capitol building itself. And there's, who's operating these drones and why? Yeah, I guess that's the question. And why are there orbs seen a lot of times in the area of these drones? What's happening? I believe that some people think that the drones themselves are extraterrestrial, and that may be the case. We can't say for sure, but it is possible. What's happening is that the drones are top secret drones, and they're being used as some sort of a deterrent, or as some form of a subterfuge. Okay, well, all these orbs are appearing all over the place. Why don't we just send up a whole bunch of our top secret drones, and then people won't know what to think, and then we could just tell them, yeah, see, it's just drones, and there's just a wave going on here. It's mass hysteria. Blame it on mass hysteria. All to just keep it a secret, to keep the reality of the extraterrestrial presence a secret. Have people confused and not know what's going on. Don't give them any straight answers, and all done deliberately. Like, here's some more weird ones. I mean, what's going on here? I mean, some of them do. Some of these objects looks like they're drones, right? And then some of them are orbs. There's an orb and a drone right here in this image here. What's happening here? Looks like it connected, or the drone got close to that orb, and the orb was just hovering there in the sky. What's happening? Who knows? This was an orb interacting with another orb and a drone? Yeah, so basically 2 orbs interacting with the drone. Like, what's happening? We're not getting any answers from our government. That's what's happening, folks. We're not getting any answers from our government. Okay, here's one that says, orb disables drone mid-air over Phoenix. Let's check this one out. Okay. I don't know. Here comes an object, a blinking object coming into view on the left there. And there's something hovering there in the sky. And there's actually 3 things in the sky. What's going on here? Looks like 2 of them could be drones. One in the middle looks like it could be an orb. So this would help with that theory, the hypothesis that the drones are being used as a deterrent against whatever these orbs are up to. That could be what's happening here. I mean, you see an orb hovering in the sky. There was 2 drones. One's very close to it right now. What's happening? Why is this going on? Who knows? Maybe the government wants to get a closer look at some of these orbs with their top secret drones, and that's the reason they can't say anything. I mean, what are they going to tell the public? I mean, they've been lying about the alien presence for 80 years almost. So what do? Okay, we can't tell them about what we're doing. Oh, look at that. Looks like something dropped out of it. Wow, that was weird. Yeah, these are very, very strange videos with really, no explanation to them. Okay, here's another one. Multiple bright orbs flying over someone's house in Maine. As you can see, we're all over the country here. That's all these sightings all over the country. Well, look at that. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I see at least 6. 7. There's 7 just flying over. What are they? Orbs. And again, it would explain. Okay, how, if the government is responsible for the drones, then you have to ask, why don't they want to talk about these drones? It's because they're being used to get a closer look at these orbs, or to deter these orbs from doing whatever. Well, we don't understand. I don't know. I mean, that could be what's happening here. We just can't say for sure. All we can say is that you can't trust the Pentagon when it comes to UFOs, like I've always said. Here's another one. Orbs seen over the ocean. Let's click on this one. Okay. I don't know. I'm not so okay. There's one right here off to the right. This looks like it could be a drone. I don't know. Just out there loitering. Yeah. Again, I'll leave the link here for this post, because it's really, really interesting. You can check all these out for yourself. Oh, look at that. Okay. Looks like there's some objects out there hovering, and there's a drone, something flashing. Who knows? That one's far away. That reminds me of what I was filming recently at Asbury Park. You can't really, it's too far away to tell. Okay, here's one. Spinning orb, Green Valley, Illinois. Let's see what this one looks like. So this is the kind of stuff that people are seeing. Now this is definitely not a drone. What is that thing? Wow. It looks like shaped like a sea, spinning. And wow, that's very. Now this is strange. This is very strange looking. Look at it. Wow, I have no explanation for this one here whatsoever. Wow, that was very weird. Yeah, what's going on here, folks? No one's. Our government won't tell us. We just don't know. But I guess the point I want to make here, it's not just drones. There's something else in the sky, and that's what we should be thinking about here. Like, this object here is very crazy. Wow, this is really strange. Okay, and now I just want to shoot over to the National UFO Reporting Center. I want to show you something on there. Now, this is a really good place to find. This is where most people report UFOs, at least here in the United States and Canada. And just if you look at the past few months, these are the different reports and the sightings, the number of sightings they have for each month. If you go all the way back to August, for instance, you're at 276 reports that were filed with the National UFO Reporting Center. And then just a month before that, it was 208. But then you go September 247, but then October 352, November 375, and now so far in December 436. 436 sightings. That's a lot more than the previous months, as you'll see. In the previous months, you're looking at in the 200s or 300s. If you slide down here, unless you go all the way back to October of 2023 and September of 2023, and of course August. I mean, it looks like there was a lot more sightings going. A bigger wave must have been going on, but then it slowed down a bit. But now recently, you're looking at all of these sightings just for the month of December so far, 436. And let's click on this, and we'll check some of them out. This is really, here's one from Poland. Somebody writes, I was going home and I heard weird noise, so I looked in the sky and saw a flying green object in the sky. And then you could open it up and read more about it. There's actually media associated with this one. Some of these reports come equipped with a image. And so this one happened in Poland. And it says here, I was going home and I heard a weird noise, so I looked up in the sky and saw a flying green object. I saw one object in the sky looking as big as a small airplane. It had blue lights and emitted a blue beam. And the National UFO Reporting Center note says, not sure what this image is. And look at this image. What is that? What is that thing? That is very strange looking. That does not look like any sort of conventional aircraft or drone or orb for that matter. I don't know what it looks like. Looks very strange. It's like these weird bluish lights on it. I don't know if that's the back of it or the front of it or what. Very weird. Yeah, it looks like there's, like he says here, it says it had blue lights and emitted a blue beam. I mean, it looks like this could be a blue beam here coming out of where these blue lights are. That's very weird looking. But these are the kind of reports that are on here. And there's a lot of orb reports. Like here's one from Colorado that was reported just on the 18th of December. And it says the orb. It says was moving like an airplane at first and then stopped moving. Has been stationary for more than 20 minutes with slight rotations. Here, there was a triangle seen in Ohio, in Columbus, Ohio. The drone was heading to my right and stopped and headed to the left when I started recording. Let's open it up. There's it says there's media with it, so maybe there's an image here we could look at. It's too far away. It looks like a little bright spot against the sky there. It's difficult to say with assurance what it is. But look at this. I mean, there's all these reports. A lot of them are orbs. Some of them are triangles. Some of them are fireballs. There's not a lot of saucer reports for this month that I see. A lot of orbs or spheres or circles, cylinder, rectangle, circle, orb. Here's one. It says, this was in Violet, Louisiana, saw UFO drone heading east-northeast coming from across the Mississippi River out of the south-southwest and aligned directly over our Air Force base. So that one was going over the Air Force base. Here was one from this one. Okay, now some of them he puts an exclamation point by them because I think they're the more interesting ones. Now this one doesn't have... this one here from Massachusetts, Massachusetts doesn't have any media attached to it, but let's see what it says because it has an exclamation point next to it. Yes, this happened in Massachusetts, and it says it looked like the shape of a star. It was colored white. Saw at least more than 50 small lights in the sky moving at a very fast pace. I was outside with my dogs at roughly 5:30 p.m. At that time, my husband had pulled in the driveway from work. I looked up because, like everybody these days, we are looking up because of drone sightings. I saw what appeared to be a night sky loaded with stars, but a lot of these lights were not stars. They were not twinkling, and they were moving at a very fast pace. Not fast like a meteor shower. They appeared to move with more intent. They appeared to move from northwest to southeast. There were so many in the sky that I couldn't count. This definitely wasn't Starlink. I've seen that before. These were more random. Their placement in the sky appeared to be random. The best thing I could compare it to is when I saw the International Space Station move across the sky, but these dots seemed to be smaller and definitely moved more rapidly, and there were so many of them that I couldn't count. One of the small lights appeared to get bigger and brighter and then disappeared, but I only saw one of them do that. There was no sound. As a matter of fact, it was almost eerily quiet at that time, and neither one of us recall seeing any other type of routine aircraft in the sky during that initial burst of whatever it is that we saw. Initial sighting of the large amount lasted with about 30 minutes roughly. We were both in shock, so I don't know the exact timing. I do know at 5:34 p.m. I tried to call my daughter to see if she could see what we were seeing. She lives 2 towns over, about 12 minutes away. She didn't answer. Immediately after I called her husband, he didn't answer. They did call back at almost immediately after, but they were on a telehealth call, so they couldn't go right outside. But shortly after that, I did speak to her, and they did go outside, and they could see what we were seeing, but not in the same numbers that we saw them at. But at that point, we could also still see them, but there was far less quantity. What they described was exactly what we were seeing also. Small lights that appeared to be stars, but weren't twinkling and were moving at a very fast pace. The speeds always appeared to be fast, but it looked like they could actually slow down a little bit and accelerate. And they always appeared to be in groups of 3, and it would look like one could catch up with the others. As high up as these were, they were moving far faster than a plane would travel. We kept watching outside for roughly 2 hours from the time it started until the time that our eyes were just so tired we couldn't keep watching. We did keep seeing the same types of objects moving, but not in the same numbers. I probably saw about 18 more from the time of the large amount until the time I went in the house, which was roughly about 7:35 or so. I never saw one at a time. If I saw one, then I only saw 2 or more right after. We did notice that they seemed to be almost in like groups of 3, even during the larger burst of them. It did seem after the initial burst of them, there were a lot of different aircraft all over the sky, airplanes and helicopters. The sky appeared to be very busy, far busier than usual, with what appeared to be different types of aircraft in the sky, with flashing lights that you could clearly see. Over the past few days, we have seen what we believe to be drones a handful of times, and we believe that we did possibly see drones again tonight, but that's not what these smaller, fast-moving objects were in the sky. I've never witnessed anything like this. We are both in absolute shock, and we have no idea what it is that we saw. It's all we could talk about right up until this very moment that I'm writing this report. So I find that very interesting. These are the kind of reports that the National UFO Reporting Center has been receiving. Let's see. Let's check out another one. Here was another one with an exclamation point. It was a triangle. It says, my dad was driving me to high school, and there was hovering there 3 white lights. You could see dim 3 lights, no red or green. Okay, let's open it up. Even though there's no media to go along with this one, we'll see what it says. Me and my dad were on our way to take me to school, and off on the right of the Highway 9 going towards Cathcart, and a triangle the size of a bus was hovering, not moving, sitting to the right, 3 lights in perfect formation of a triangle, and we were at a red light. There were no red or green air regulation lights, and it was not moving. Freaked us out. I promise I'm telling the truth. I would take an oath. And that was from the state of Washington. Okay, so there's other objects in the sky in addition to drones, and there seems to be a lot of orb sightings, cube sightings. There's chevron sightings on here. There's all kinds of sightings in addition to the drone sightings. I think, we're being lied to by the government. Obviously, we're going through some sort of a wave, and what the reason is for all of this, why is this happening, why are there drones all over the place, as well as other objects, it's anyone's guess. We can't really say because our government won't tell us the truth, and this is where we are right now, folks. It's very sad, I must say. Yeah, and if you go through this, you'll see all the different states: Pennsylvania, New York, Maine, Delaware, Oregon, Louisiana. I mean, this is all over: Arkansas, Washington, Iowa, New Jersey, South Carolina, England. There's other countries that are filing reports here: Texas, Georgia, everywhere, Michigan, Illinois, Florida, Lower Saxony, everywhere. all over the place, all over the country right now. There's all sorts of objects being seen, a lot of orbs, strange lights in the sky. It's not just drones that people are seeing. Some people are seeing strange drones, that's true, but there's other things up there too, so we shouldn't forget about the other things that are people are reporting as well. So I think it's important that we here's like I just went down this list here, and finally I come to a disc. There hasn't been a lot of discs seen recently. Orbs, diamond shapes, but not a lot of disc shapes or saucer shapes, rectangles, all kinds of objects. In addition to the drones. So yeah, now here's one here. It says triangle drone. This was in Maine, and there's a picture to go along with it, apparently. Let's see what it looks like. This was Old Orchard Beach in Maine, flying northeast in the direction of the ocean. It says here, while walking my dog, a black triangle with orange and blue lights flew overhead in a northeast direction. We are in Maine near the ocean and have seen several since last night. My neighbor had seen a similar aircraft last year around this time, but we chalked it up to living near a Navy base. And you have a blurry, far away picture of it there. It's hard to really see. Let's see if you could play it. There it is. Wow. Wow, now that is interesting. Some silent object just floating out there. Maybe Mick West could determine that it was just some sort of traditional aircraft using his app. I don't know. But again, it doesn't matter. The reality of the situation is that it's not just drones people are seeing, it's orbs. A lot of orbs people are seeing these days as well. So it's all over the place, folks. And we're not getting straight answers from the government, and I don't think we ever will. In fact, I mean, they're trying to poo-poo it right now on some of the major networks. Washington Post, Garrett Graff had a big article, a big opinion piece today talking about panic, people panicking was all BS, just like his lousy book UFO that I talked about from last year. That was a piece of junk, and now he's writing for the Washington Post. CNN's having people throwing Mick West on there to try to explain everything away. This is all nonsense, folks. You're being gaslighted when it comes to this subject. You don't hear the debunkers, though. They won't talk about some of the hard evidence, some of the better video that people capture, or some of the better sightings. They won't talk about that. They'll pull out their app and they'll tell you, oh yeah, it's just see all the airplanes, it all matches up. Yeah, that's easy. Okay, that's all easy. What about the Vegas alien stuff? They won't look at that. They won't try to debunk that because they can't. They'll just make fools out of themselves. And in addition to that, they'll just put more focus on it. More people will realize it. Then they want to keep it hush hush. They want to keep that all tamped down. But just so everyone knows, Scott Roeder, by the way, is going to be appearing soon on an episode of Ancient Aliens. Ancient Aliens is interested in the Las Vegas alien story, and they're going to do an entire episode, apparently, on that. So that should be interesting, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's not just drones, folks. There's orbs out there floating around too, and among other things. So what's happening? Maybe like I suggested early on, that because of all the orbs, okay, we need to do something. Let's send up the drones. We'll cause a diversion here, and maybe that's what's happening. Or maybe they're using the drones as some sort of a deterrent against whatever these orbs are up to. We don't know, but all I could tell you is this, right? Is that we're being gaslighted. We're being gaslighted on a scale that's gargantuan. And it's just, it's sad to see that they just continue this lie. They don't want to tell the truth about this, despite the fact that we have people testifying under oath about the reality of this. And we get no answers from the government. Instead, we get chuckles and laughed at, and don't worry about it. Nothing to see here. It's only drones. Here, let's bring on a former video game programmer on CNN. He'll explain it to you. See, it's all just regular aircraft that people are reporting. It's just all nonsense. You're being gaslighted on a scale that's it's unimaginable. It's an unimaginable scale that we're being gaslighted on. So that's what's happening, folks. Anyway, I just want to say this. I want to say thank you all for joining me today. Until next time.